Great opportunity this weekend getting back here at home. Excited to finish our season at home, first of all. We have seems like I guess we've been on a every other week type of deal here for a while, so it's exciting to know that we're going to be able to finish here in the Valley. Excited about a night game here in the Valley. That'll be a lot of fun for everybody, and going to be a great week. This is always a special time. I cannot believe it's game 11. It's just crazy, but season seems like it's flown by fast, and just trying to enjoy every second of it with this group of seniors that we have. Just love being around them as people every single day. Obviously, they're great players, but just who they are as young men. So senior day, it's going to be awesome, and I know we'll have a great crowd to come out and kind of tip our hat to these guys, and what they've done is amazing. And ironically, they've got an opportunity to make some history on senior day. Several different cases of it, whether it be obviously they got a chance to get their 51st win, which is an ACC record. If they can take care of business, and Renfro has a chance to set history with one catch, and career starts for a receiver. Same thing with Christian Wilkins. He's got a chance to make some history. Career starts at D tackle, and Mitch Hyatt, career starts overall. He's already got the snap record, so a lot of neat things in play for these seniors this week. Not to mention just the opportunity to get an 11th win and to stay on track for postseason opportunity that they want to achieve. So just really excited about the game day as well. That's always an incredible day here at Clemson. I think our people do as good a job as anybody in the country with that. But let me tell you, we got a really good team we're getting ready to play. Duke 7-3, and first of all, let me just say this: David Cutcliffe he's as good a coach as there is in the country, and he's a good friend, has been for a long time. He's one of my good friends in this business, and just have so much respect for who he is, but what he's done at Duke is unbelievable. The consistency that he's established there, the program, the culture, watching their guys play and how they play, it jumps out at you as far as their belief in what they're doing, and that doesn't just happen. David has done an unbelievable job. I mean, he really has. And this is a really good football team. Like I said, 7-3 offensively. And we haven't played Duke in quite a while, and I haven't studied them very much. We haven't had a ton of crossover tape on them. So I got to tell you, I enjoyed it, but then I didn't enjoy it. Really going through and watching all of their tape. This is a good football team, a well-coached football team, and they believe in who they are and what they do and how they do it, and they put their guys in position to be successful. But looking at them offensively, this quarterback is spectacular. I mean, he is. He's as good as there is in the country. I haven't seen everybody out there in the country, but he's as good as there is in the country. This kid, I cannot imagine, is not going to be a high draft pick. He's 6'5", he's 220, and he is accurate, and he has got a great arm strength. He's a special player, and I think he had last week against North Carolina, he had one run for around 50 yards, had another one for 70 yards. I mean, he can run. He can pick them up and put them down. But incredibly impressed with their quarterback. And everything goes through him, the zone read, the reverse zone read, all the RPOs and stuff, everything goes through their quarterback, and he absolutely knows what he's doing, knows where to go with the ball. And he's surrounded by some really good players. Their receivers are very, very good. 82 is a very polished route runner. At number 3 is quick as a hiccup. He is fast as lightning and hard to cover in space. Very good tight ends, very cohesive in the offensive line, very well coached, and do a great job. So I don't know if y'all have watched much Duke tape, but y'all are gonna be in for a treat watching this quarterback play. Now he's a special player, and I don't have any doubt that we're going to have our hands full with him, especially with the skill around him. And then their running backs, 25 is a fast, explosive runner. He's averaging 5.5 a carry. So to me, this is one of the biggest challenges that we will have defensively all year with how they play and the people that they have within their scheme. And then defensively, same thing, very well coached. Very well positioned, play a lot of man coverage. They challenge you. They'll mix in some zone stuff and try to disguise that. But they've had a couple injuries. They have 16 is a great player for them. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to play or not. I think he got hurt last week, but this is again just a well coordinated group defensively that is very seldom out of position. So, their style of play will force us to have to, win some one-on-one matchups, try to get the ball into some space and try to make some guys miss some tackles because there's going to be some unblocked guys with their style of play. But we're excited about it. They've got 4 road wins as well, including one of those road wins at Northwestern, which Northwestern just won. I don't know what the divisions are called in the Big Ten, but they won the division, one side of the Big Ten, and so they'll be playing for their conference championship. And Duke went to Northwestern and won. So this just gives you a little bit of insight into who they are and what they're capable of doing. So excited about the challenge and look forward to being in the Valley Saturday night and having a great atmosphere to honor our seniors. And I know our guys are excited about it. And really proud of our team for, again, how they performed last week and finishing up our road schedule undefeated and being able to go up there and take care of business.
Were you able to finally connect with the BC quarterback?
I called him and left him a voicemail. I did not talk to him, but did call and leave him a voicemail and went back and forth with Coach Adazio, and he said he's doing much better.
You mentioned Coach Cutcliffe. When and how did you originally meet him? How long have you known him?
Well, he's an old Alabama guy. First of all, Banks High School, and we never worked together, but 13 years at Alabama, you meet a lot of people that are connected to the university over that time, and he was always at Tennessee for years and years. So we crossed paths many times over the years, and then he was the head coach at Ole Miss, and Marion Hobby was a mutual friend, and got to know him even more through Marion. When Marion was with him at Ole Miss, and then Marion was with him at Duke. I actually hired him from Duke, but just in the coaching business over the years, and then both of us having the tie to Alabama, and then all his years at Tennessee and playing him every year, just got to know him a little bit, and then over my, I guess. This is my 10th year, so he came into the league the same year that I got the interim job. I think that was his first year. So we've kind of been together the whole time in this league, and so for the last 10 years, have gotten to know him really well. And he's always on the Nike trip and stuff like that, so I get to spend a good amount of time with him, and just got such a great amount of respect for who he is. I mean, he's a good man. He's a heck of a football coach, and he's just consistent, and he's all about the right things. He's definitely one of the good guys in this profession.
Have you faced a quarterback as good as Daniel Jones this year?
Well, obviously the kid at Syracuse, Dungy, is a great player. And Finley's a great player at NC State, and this guy's as good as there is out there. I mean, I mean, he's big, and like I said, accurate, and can fly. I mean, he's just pulling away from people on tape at 6'5". So he's the whole package, and ton of arm strength, can make all the throws.
With all four safeties really developing a lot this year, what kind of role has Mickey Kahn played in that, and kind of what is his coaching style?
Oh, Mickey's done a great job. He's a passionate coach. I mean, he's a very knowledgeable coach. You know, he takes pride in his group, and not just their performance on the field. He takes a lot of pride in developing them as men, and I think all of that stuff matters and carries over to what you do on the field. And so he's a heck of a coach. He's been a huge part of that, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to go to two DB coaches when we got that opportunity to do that, just because a lot of times you got 5 of them on the field, and it's just so much stuff to coach, so many details, you know, between the safeties and the corners and the run fits and all those type of things. So it's been great, you know, having him, you know, coaching those guys.
Coach, beyond the wins and the records, what has the senior class meant to you personally?
Oh man, they've just brought a lot of joy to my life. You know, being around them and watching them develop and transform. That's to me is the best part of coaching. I mean, I think about some of these young guys. Austin Bryant, you know, first time you meet this guy, he's a young kid in Thomasville. Adam Choice, and to see their transformation into who they are, and you know that they've had some ups and some downs, but just seeing them as men now, and to know that they're, you know, just so well equipped for what's going to come next. And you know, I've just enjoyed all of my time with them. You know, these guys have been here 4 and 5 years, and it's special. It really is. Everything to me comes back to relationships, and these are guys that I know I'll have relationships with for the rest of our lives. It's sad. It's sad because you know they got to go, you know, and you're like, man, it's going to be my last Thanksgiving with these guys. You know, they'll be somewhere else next year, just like, you know, our guys last year. I miss those guys, but you know, it's also comforting too, though, because I know that they're prepared, and that they'll do great in life, and you can, you know, take some pride in knowing that you kind of helped them along the way. But they've just brought me a lot of joy. It's been a ton of fun being with them. Obviously, we've won a bunch of games and all that stuff, and they've been great players. But it's a group that I'm gonna miss. It's definitely the biggest group I've had. But it'll be a special night, getting to see them. We'll honor them individually Saturday night, and then in our last game, they'll come down as a group, you know, and one last time. So it'll be special.
Coach, the longer you coach, does it ever get easier to say goodbye to seniors?
No, I think it gets harder, to be honest with you. It's, you know, you just get close to these guys. I mean, we spend a ton of time together. I mean, a ton of time. You're with these guys, and it's, you know, and then when it comes time, the seniors just has always been special to me. Those guys, they're the most invested. They've been here. They've done the right things. These guys are all going to be graduates, and you know, just it does not get easier. Just like, you know, I had one kid leave my house, and it wasn't any easier when Drew left the house, and it won't be any easier when Clay. It'll be worse when Clay leaves. So I just think that you know, you love these guys, and I mean, it's awesome having them as players, obviously, but just being around them as people and seeing the commitment and the work ethic and the leadership and just the total transformation is special.
Do you see any of these underclassmen that may step into those leadership roles?
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
So who would they be?
absolutely. Yeah, we've got a bunch of those guys. I mean, we got a great junior class, got a tremendous junior class. But you know, that's always the fun part for me too, is starting over and trying to, you know, it's a new team and new chemistry and new leadership and new roles. some guys, some roles carry over, but you still start over. So I'm just focused on where I'm at and enjoying today and these last moments that we have with this group.
How much credit do you give that senior group with the consistency you guys have been able to have had this year? I mean, obviously consistency over 4 years for them,
Yep.
but this year it seems like a different level of consistency every week.
Yeah, well, it all matters. I mean, when they were freshmen, there was a group of seniors and juniors around here that were pretty good too, and so that's why they're in this position to do what they're doing, because what they did as a freshman matters. What they did as sophomores mattered. What they did as juniors, and that's kind of what we do here. That's how we maintain that consistency, is we create that buy-in, and our culture drives a lot of that. I mean, these freshmen that are here, they're competing with that senior class, and if you can't go back and be a freshman again, but it's going to carry over with you, you're going to have to own everything that you did as a freshman and as a sophomore and as a junior and so forth. So it's pretty cool. I think this will be like the fourth or fifth class in a row that's leaving here as the winningest senior class ever. So is it the fifth? This will be the fifth senior class in a row that has won up the previous senior class. So they're competitive that way. They take a lot of pride in that. But again, they're in this position because of the leadership prior to them. I mean, when Christian was a freshman, and those senior leaders, and they grow and develop and nurture, and that's what these guys have done. That's probably the thing that I think is so special about this particular group, is they have really taken ownership of what they're leaving behind, more so than probably any group I've had. Like, it's really important to them how they're impacting the young players on this team, the standard, the model that they take pride in that, and it's very unique to see. So we'll have a bunch of guys that'll be ready to step up next year and fill these roles. But the best part is they've had a great model for it, and that's how you maintain consistency.
Speaking of leadership on the offensive side of the ball, is it seems like a quieter group? Is there a dominant personality?
I just think it's a cohesive group. It's a really close group. That offensive line and the backs and Trevor and Chase. I mean, the receivers, they're just a real close group. But we have great leadership. I mean, Mitch and John and Fauci and Ankrum and Pollard and Gage are just really strong veteran guys and all good leaders. They all believe in Trevor and what's going on there. They believe in Chase, and then those backs, the selflessness there. Hunter and Travion at wideout, they've given great leadership there. And I mean, it's just a close group. It's a little different. It's not as vocal, but a really close group that trusts each other.
As you continue to build the program and recruit more of those 3-and-done track guys, how does that change how a senior class comes together and the dynamics in it, and maybe how does it change how you relate to those guys as they're coming through and establishing themselves?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've had a few of those 3-and-done guys, but I still think those are more the exception than the rule. I think, from a senior standpoint, to me, it's about academics. I mean, Deshaun was here 3 years, but he graduated. I mean, like Christian was a senior last year because he graduated in December last year. So we honored him. He wasn't sure if he was coming back or not, and he really didn't know. And so we went ahead and he's my first 2-time curtain call guy. As I said, that's kind of classic Christian Wilkins, isn't it? So maybe that'll be a new trend. I'll have some guys that we have to honor twice because we're not sure. Like Garrett Williams is an example. We're gonna honor him this week because he's not sure if he's going to be back. We certainly want him back, but he wants to go in the military, and he's got process in that, and he's not ready to make a decision. But you don't want to miss out on that opportunity too. He's already graduated, so we got a couple guys like that. But you gotta be a guy that's graduated already, or a fourth-year guy, or a 3-year guy that's got your degree by December. So, but whether you're with them 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years, you just try to maximize that time. And if a guy's leaving here after 3 years, he's probably pretty dang special on the field. We haven't had many guys leaving after 3 years that aren't, but it still comes back to just staying committed to how we do things in our program.
Are there any characteristics of these players that you see in high school that you can tell, like, they're like this in high school or that in high school, so they're going to be a good leader coming up, or is it something they kind of grow in while they're here?
Both. There's definitely a lot of, they're young people. When we're seeing these are 16, 17-year-old young people that are being shaped and molded every single day, and some of them they only know what they know, and so we have to project sometimes. But the biggest thing is just what kind of person are they? There's some kids you can see pretty quickly that, hey, they're a natural leader, a great leader. They may be in a leadership role there. There's other kids that are really talented, but they're not as confident in that. But we have to make but they're a good person, and that's what I always tell people. We recruit people first, players second. And, so we try to do a great job with who's coming in the door here, and then a great job in developing them and establishing kind of a baseline of where they are, and then because they're all different, and then helping them grow into their potential.
How comfortable are you with the level of adversity that your team has gone through this season, going into the stretch drive, and not only that, but how do you believe you've handled it with the limited amount of adversity that you had basically earlier in the year?
Oh, we've had our share of adversity, so I think our guys have handled it well. I mean, we've been focused every week. Obviously, the Texas A&M game on the road, the second game was really like an opener, just a ton of unknowns, for us and for them, and had some tough plays go against us in the fourth quarter there, and next thing you know, you're in a dog fight, and our guys had to find a way to win, and then just the adversity of the grind of the season. Our guys have handled that very well. They've stayed focused. Obviously, losing a player, having a former player pass away, all within a short span. And the adversity of the Syracuse game, I think you've seen our team respond. So just really proud of them. They've done a great job to this point, and there'll be more adversity along the way. We had some adversity the other night, but we just go to the next play. It's a 4-quarter game, and we've got a lot of toughness to this team, mentally and physically.
Obviously, we've all enjoyed watching the jumbo package sort of unfold, but what does it say about your creativity, Tony's mind, that you guys seem to be able to architect this thing to work so many different ways?
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to take advantage of the pieces that we have, and obviously Christian and Dexter are big, strong, physical, athletic guys, and so, why not? And guys that I trust, so it's just something that we have messed with in the past, but we got a little bit more into it this year, and it's paid off well for us, and hopefully we'll have some more opportunity along the way.
Do you remember when and where you were when that idea first popped into your head?
No, like I said, I mean, it was something that we've been repping for a couple years, but just watching the athleticism of Christian, and I mean, I threw him a fake punt as a true freshman in the playoff, so I got a lot of confidence in him. He's just a skilled guy. I mean, he's got great hands, he's got great feet, and then just the maturation of those guys, and then just got a little more comfortable with where they were. Early on, we didn't steal them too much, but they've played a lot of defensive football, and they got a good understanding. So we've been able to get them a little more here or there, and I just wanted to expand it a little bit this year and take advantage of of their ability. While we got them, I mean, they're kind of rare guys, and so there's a lot that you have to defend, with them in the game. So it's not just. I mean, the first thing you got to do is somebody's got to be able to win at the point of attack and stop it. But secondly, there's things you can build off of it, like the play action, like we hit with Milan the other night. So it's been good for us. And trying to get a yard, trying to get 2 yards, those are hard yards to get sometimes, especially when you're in a confined area, and you got a better chance than not if you can just kind of hat everybody up with those guys in the game.
Last week after Duke beat UNC, Cutcliffe actually did a victory dance to some James Brown music. I don't know if you heard this, but does that surprise you, and do you blame him for kind of taking a page from your book there?
No, that doesn't surprise me because I see him on the Nike trip every February and cutting a rug. So, David is a great guy. In fact, he's showed me he's the guy who showed me the talking emoji. I didn't even know I had that on my phone. And we were in Mexico last February, and he taught me how to. There's a little button that you can select the character that you want. You can be a tiger, a monkey, a elephant, a unicorn. You can be whatever you want to be, and you can talk into it and send it. He taught me how to do that. So Cut's on it, man. He's with it. Doesn't surprise me at all.
Dabo, you said before the season that you thought on paper this was probably your best team. With the way you guys have played this year and the margin of victory in the ACC games and that kind of stuff, have you seen enough yet to say that that's the case?
Yeah, I don't know if I said this is my best. Maybe my deepest team on paper. We'll see if it turns out to be the best team, but I definitely think that our depth has played out like I thought it would, for sure. Just our most experienced team, our deepest team. So that has proved to be the case. I mean, we've played a ton of guys. I think we've been able to withstand an injury here or there, a guy here or there, without having too much drama, and then but you're going into it and you're like, okay, well, how's it all going to come together? What's going to be the selflessness of the team? The chemistry, the leadership, well, all of that stuff, all these things that the intangibles, how will that all come together with what's on paper? And it's these guys have done an amazing job. They really have taken pride in just getting ready every week and being about the right things. And then, especially with some of the young guys that have stepped in and kind of joined the group. Obviously, Trevor, the situation there. It's been a lot of fun, but hopefully we can stay healthy, because I do think we've developed the depth like I hope we would, and we'll see. I mean, people measure best teams by championships typically. So right now we've won a division championship, and that's it.
Yeah, but how much do you guys educate the history of Clemson with its military heritage, especially this week, and let them understand why it's so important to Clemson?
Yeah, we talk about that every year, and that's something we'll talk about later on in the week with these guys on Memorial Stadium and the Scroll of Honor, and this is a military school. I think was it 58 or 59 was the last year. Any of y'all remember? When was the last year of military school? Tim?
65.
Oh, it was 65. Why was I thinking 58 or 59? So 65? George Bennett? 55. All right. So I was closer then. So I was thinking it was 58 or 59. So 55. So it was military school, all male military school up until then. And sometimes our guys, they're always kind of surprised when they hear that. Some of the new guys coming in. I met a guy at one of the prowling grounds. I think I was up in maybe Rock Hill or something. And he's an older guy, and he came up to me and he told me when he came to Clemson, they issued you a gun, and you had to sleep with it. And I'm like, well, it's crazy how the world has changed. But he was telling me all about his experience, and it was a different Clemson for sure back then. But we take a lot of pride in our military appreciation here for sure, and I think we're second or third. We had the second or third most alumni that either served or lost their lives in, was it World War II? In World War II? You know, so, you know, it's just it's deep. It's a really deep history here.
How's Mitch Hyatt doing?
He's good. He's good.
Is Hunter Renfrow still in quarterback meetings, or does he move back to wide receiver meetings?
Well, he's always been in receiver meetings, but he kind of goes back and forth. So he's in and out and still reps with the quarterbacks every week. He's still living the dream, man. He's living the dream.
Yeah, but do you expect Mitch to be able to go Saturday? Or
I do.
What's been the most important part of Kendrick's development from the beginning of the season to now?
Just confidence, and the game's slowing down a little bit for him. You know, he's learning a new position. As y'all know, played quarterback, but he's learning a new position, and just there's a lot that comes with it. And so just getting reps and just the game, having a little bit of success, and that's allowed him to grow his confidence a little bit more. But I'll tell you, he's a tough kid, and he has a great work ethic. I mean, he loves to practice. He brings great energy to practice every day. He likes it. He likes to prepare. He likes to be coached. And but the biggest thing is just I think the game is slowed down a little bit, and he's just his natural ability. You're seeing he's a really good football player, well-rounded, all-around type of guy, and done a great job in the return game for us. So he's kind of hit his stride. I mean, it's 10 games in now. I mean, a really talented guy like that, it's just a matter of time before he settles in and helps you.
How much of a weapon is it to have multiple options there with Kendrick and Amari and guys like that who can change field position and even, like last week, get you touchdowns like Amari?
Well, that's great. I mean, you want as many good players as you can have, and when you have great depth, it allows you to maintain consistency, because it's hard, to go through a season and maybe a guy doesn't roll an ankle or something like that, and then the tempo we try to play with and the amount of snaps and how we like to attack, you need as many guys as you can have, and so it's definitely a blessing that we've got good depth at that position.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, appreciate it.